Hi guys and welcome to my channel. Myself Dr. Akshay, and in today's session I'm going to be discussing about the topic role of nitric oxide as a vasodilator. If you guys want to learn more about the circulatory system, then click subscribe and the bell icon. So let's do this together. Coming to the topic role of nitric oxide as a vasodilator. So, the most important endothelial derived relaxing factor is nitric oxide. So, we all know that the endothelium is the innermost layer of the blood vessel. The most important endothelial derived relaxing factor is nitric oxide. This nitric oxide is a lipid-loving gas. And this nitric oxide is released from these endothelial cells in response to various chemical and physical stimuli. So, see this figure. So, endothelial derived nitric oxide synthase enzyme, that is eNOS enzyme. This enzyme synthesizes nitric oxide from L-arginine and oxygen. So with the presence of this enzyme, this oxygen will react with this L-arginine, and this L-arginine is an amino acid. And after the reaction, it forms nitric oxide plus L-citrulline. So leave about this L-citrulline, we need only this nitric oxide. So the formation of nitric oxide results from the reduction of inorganic nitrate which is present in this L-arginine. So this nitric oxide gets formed, and after the formation of this nitric oxide will get diffused out from these endothelial cells. And after diffusing out from this endothelial cell, this nitric oxide will always have a shelf life of only 6 seconds. So this nitric oxide which is formed will act on local tissues. So you can see this is the muscular layer in the blood vessel, and this is the endothelial layer which is the innermost layer, and this is the lumen. Through this lumen blood is flowing. This formed nitric oxide will then go to the muscular cells, and here you can see this nitric oxide will activate soluble guanylate cyclases. This is an enzyme. This enzyme is responsible for the conversion of cyclic GTP into cyclic GMP. That is, cyclic guanosine triphosphate to cyclic guanosine monophosphate. And this cyclic guanosine monophosphate, which is formed as a result of this reaction, is responsible for vascular relaxation. So, along with the formation of cyclic guanosine monophosphate, activation of cyclic guanosine monophosphate dependent protein kinase enzyme will also take place, and these plays a crucial role in vascular dilatation. So see this figure, you can see the blood is flowing through this vessel. Okay, blood is flowing, and this flowing blood will exert a shear stress over these endothelial cells. And this shear stress is due to the viscous drag which is occurring due to the flow of blood. And this shear stress contorts the endothelial cells because of the excessive pressure which is exerting. So due to this shear stress, this nitric oxide will get released because it acts as a stimulatory factor. So that's an example for physical stimulation. And this nitric oxide which is released through shear stress plays a major role in vascular dilatation. So in the upper stream, so many larger arteries are present. So the released nitric oxide will always increases the diameter of these upper stream larger arteries. So this occurs whenever the microvascular circulation in the downstream arteries increases. So without such a response, the effectiveness of local blood flow control will be decreased. This is because a significant part of resistance always occurs in the upper stream arteries. So this nitric oxide synthesis and release are also stimulated by some vasoconstrictor agents such as angiotensin 2. This angiotensin 2 will bind to specific receptors which are present over the endothelial cell. So you can see in this figure, this is a receptor. So to this receptor, this angiotensin 2 will come and attach, thus causing the release of nitric oxide. And this increased release of nitric oxide will also control vasoconstrictory process, because we all know this angiotensin 2 is a powerful vasoconstrictor. So these endothelial cells can get damaged by chronic hypertension or atherosclerosis. This damaged endothelium results in the impaired synthesis of nitric oxide. So this can lead to excessive vasoconstriction, worsening of hypertension, and damage to endothelium. So if you are not treating this properly, means it can lead to vascular injury, and it can also lead to the damage of some important organs such as heart, kidneys, and brain. So next, coming to application of nitric oxide in physiology and pharmacology. So there's an important enzyme known as cyclic GMP specific phosphodiesterase 5. This enzyme is also known as PDE5. This enzyme always degrades the cyclic GMP. So there is a drug known as sildenafil. This sildenafil will inhibit the action of this enzyme. By preventing the degradation of cyclic GMP, these PDE5 inhibitors will always prolong the formation of nitric oxide to cause more vasodilation. The primary use of PDE5 inhibitors is to treat the erectile dysfunction. This penile erectation is caused by the parasympathetic nervous impulses, which is through the pelvic nerves to the pelvis. Here, these neurotransmitters such as acetylcholine and nitric oxide are released. So by preventing the degradation of nitric oxide, these PDE5 inhibitors will enhance the dilatation of blood vessels in the pelvis and thus helping in erection. So that covers the topic, role of nitric oxide as a vasodilator. I hope you guys learned about this particular topic. Thank you so much, guys. Love you all, guys. See you guys in the next session.